In the last 2 hours, Syrian army detonates tunnels used by terrorists in Eastern Ghouta in the last 4 hours. Life and death. Pakistani describes being under siege in Syria's Ghouta in the last 6 hours. Eastern Ghouta rebels deny reports they're ready to lay down weapons in the last 8 hours. Thousands of civilians in Eastern Ghouta freed from prison by Syrian forces. Fourth convoy reaches Syria's Hama amid evacuation deal. As Ghouta empties, Syrians try to spot loved ones on buses. Last Syrian rebels in Ghouta negotiate as others bust away. Syria army discovers tunnel network in Eastern Ghouta. Yesterday, Syria regime detains thousands of East Ghouta evacuees in face of Ghouta defeat. Syrian rebels blame each other. Rebels ready to withdraw from Damascus. Eastern Doma district, state media. Over 400 civilians leave Ghouta since Monday morning. Russian mob. Syrian rebels say no deal to evacuate last Eastern Ghouta bastion. Syrian military video shows SOLRS in Eastern Ghouta after rebels leave war-ravaged Eastern Ghouta. From Air Eastern Ghouta refugees, we left our history, our memories. Jaish al-Islam terrorist group to withdraw from Doma soon. Huge number of jihadists flee Eastern Ghouta on the same day. Russia says deal expected with more rebels in Syria's Ghouta. Fresh rebel withdrawals from Syria's shrinking Ghouta. Death and despair. Life under siege in Syria's Ghouta. Assad breaks Ghouta truce, shells rebels, refusing to evacuate. Thousands of rebels and civilians evacuate Syria's Ghouta. Talks stall over last rebel-held zone in Syria's Ghouta. Syria army regains control over Hazab town in Eastern Ghouta. More than 113,000 civilians evacuated from Eastern Ghouta. Russia says Syria, Tiger forces prepare for new battle outside of Ghouta. Ghouta East, evacuation continues. Thousands of rebels have left the area. Aerial pictures show ruins in Syria's Eastern Ghouta. Ghouta's evacuees placed in mass detention camps. Relatives. Militants from Jobar, Ain Tarma, Samalka and Narban prepare for evacuation. Syria's most disgusting photo. Nearly 5,500 militants leave Eastern Ghouta. Defense Ministry. Syrian army gives ultimatum to last terrorist group in Eastern Ghouta. 110,000 civilians evacuate Eastern Ghouta. Exclusive. Militants, families leaving Eastern Ghouta. Tearful Syrians leave rebel enclave in largest evacuation yet in the last 7 days. Second group of Falak al-Rahman rebels leave Syria's Ghouta. Syrian rebels. Jaish al-Islam refused to leave Ghouta. Spokesman. Syrian rebels. Jaish al-Islam refused to leave Ghouta. Spokesman. Syrians in rebel enclave begin new evacuation. Cabinet sets up plan for reconstruction and investment of Eastern Ghouta. Fresh evacuations. Empty rebels. Civilians from Syria's Eastern Ghouta. Crowds cheer as Syria forces enter Ghouta suburb. Evacuated Ghouta rebels from Arban arrive in northern Syria. Civilians flee Eastern Ghouta as rebels prepare last stand against Assad. Syrians flee Eastern Ghouta as Assad closes in. Syrian rebels leaving Eastern Ghouta as government moves in. Third convoy departs Eastern Ghouta amid evacuation deal. Ghouta residents relieved to arrive in Idlib after weeks of terror. Syrian rebels. Civilians exit second pocket of Syria's Eastern Ghouta after 5-year siege. Residents say goodbye to Eastern Ghouta. Russia, Syria in talks with militants to leave Daras without bloodshed.